Evidence in science, in research, and evidence in human testimony. Evidence is the loudest voice. And I think that's what changes consciousness. I think that's what changes a collective consciousness. So there is a field of intelligence that exists beyond our senses that we're unaware of. And that unifying field of energy, it makes up more of the universe than the physical universe you and I are living in. And so then, can you teach a person to get beyond their senses, to get beyond their body, to get beyond all the people and objects and things and places in their environment, to stop trying to predict the future and stop emotionally revisiting the past and labor for the present moment and become pure consciousness? You can teach people the right information and then set up the conditions in the environment for them to experience it. The first couple of days will be choppy because it takes an enormous amount for David to face Goliath. And you got to get right up against one of those thoughts, that talk them out of possibility. And I think when people do that, they get in the habit of stopping to believe in themselves. They get in the habit of quitting. They get in the habit of absolving their effort and using some excuse to do that. Early in the morning, you go late at night. It's information transformation. It's information transformation. We build information transformation. Stand as it, walk as it, sit as it, lie down as it, become it, right? So the overcoming process we've discovered as the becoming process, that 95% that's unconscious, you have to face off with, and you got to finish it so the thought doesn't slip by your awareness unnoticed by you. When you return back into your life, where your emotional response to the same person or same circumstance causes you to no longer see the vision of your future because you're feeling the emotions of your past. You'll believe in your past more than you'll believe in your future, right? And so when we started doing all these case history studies and really looking at people's stories, it was so obvious that they were doing exactly what the people that had their spontaneous remissions were doing. Nah, they weren't doing their meditations to heal. That's not why they were doing them. They were doing their meditations to change, right? And they were surrendering the greater self to lose the sense of self-separation to nothing, and that nothing turns out to be rich in something. And energy and frequency carry information. And so interacting with that energy and frequency with coherence in your nervous system begins to be translated into our biology as a reflection of wholeness. And we see it across the board over and over again. So when a person then becomes nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time, and they're in that void, in that vacuum, in that nothing, awareness on it and feel their connection to it, not only is their nervous system going to get highly organized and highly entrained, but when they connect to it and that little radio receiver at the top of the limbic brain, that little radio receiver starts to transduce information into chemistry in the brain. That's when the person has that full-on sensory experience in their senses. And now they're in that 5D reality and in fall energy. It's all frequency. It's all connected. There's no separation unit. It's all consciousness. It's all vibration. There's nowhere to go. You're everywhere all at once. There's no separation because there's nothing to be separated from. So training people over time with information to understand that when they get to the field, if they're going to field, they're going to create from the field instead off from matter. Like if you're creating from matter to matter, she's going to take you a long time, right? But the idea then with brain and heart coherence, clear intention electrical charge in the quantum field, send the signal out. We talked about this last time, elevated emotion. Heart emotion magnetic field coherent thought, that's what draws the experience to your, right? If you create from the field instead off from matter, and it's not matter that's creating the field, it's the field that's creating matter. Get as close to source as you can get, close to singularity, to that 0 point field. Oneness, wholeness, whatever you want to call that. And there's less separation between your consciousness and the consciousness of pure consciousness. If there's less separation between 2 points of consciousness, there's less time you create from the field instead off from mattery. You could actually shorten the distance between the thought of what you want and the experience of having it. And the cool part about it is when you get your nervous system tuned in and there's a vibrational mesh handy, you're creating from source. Why would you go anywhere to get it? If you were source, you wouldn't go anywhere to get it. You would draw it to you and you collapse time and space. And when you do that, then the synchronicities, the serendipities, the coincidences, the opportunities start to prove to you that you're actually a creator of your life instead of the victim of your life. And so then people do the work not because they have to, they do the work because they don't want the magic to end. I mean, every time I go into nothing, I go into nothing with the understanding that it's not thing. T saw the data, the scientist Dom meditation. I asked them, why do you do meditation? They say, because it's medicine. This is medicine, like the I to the work, because I'm I'm the grad student running the trial here. I saw what it did. I like this is I'm doing it with the intention of changing my bile. It's not that difficult, really, to step out of the stream of thinking. Mun way, of course, is meditation. It's that traditional approach is you have certain periods of time, once or twice a day, when you sit down, close your eyes, and instead of involuntarily being drawn into the continuous stream of thinking, you usually, with meditation, you have a technique or method, you focus your attention on one thing, which could be a mantra that you breathe it, could be your breathing. It's every ancient meditation. It could be the inner feeling in your body, a sense of aliveness. That pervades your body. In other words, you take attention away from thinking, and that's already a great realization that you actually have a choice of directing attention. You don't have to go with your attention all the time where the habitual thought patterns want you to go. The habitual thought patterns want your attention. Every time every thought says, give me your attention, follow me, they got this way, and another negative thought and another one, all the other little creatures on the plan. They're completely at home in their environment. We're the only creature that's totally disoriented in our environment, and that's because we've been given the faculties to create our own environment, right? But we've never been taught how to use them. Now, we teach that in our company. We teach how to develop your perception, the willy. You change your perception, you change your life. Yeah, in the Willem, when John Kennedy asked Sir Warner von Braun what it would take to build a rocket that would carry a person to the moon, bring him back safely to Earth, von Braun's were. At him in 5 words, she said the will to do it. Now, many people would heart that they don't really understand what he said, the ability to hold that picture on the screen of your mind and nothing else, because the will is what gives you the ability to concentrate. Energy flows to and through you through concentration. You increase the amplitude of vibration. When the energy leaves you, that's how absent healing is done through the will. My practitioner will hold the idea and they'll have the subject relaxed, very quiet. They transfer that thought right into the person's subjective mind, and so it affects the body. Well, the will is very important, so we've got to understand these things. Intuition, I can walk by a person, and I could tell as soon as I walked in the room, I know exactly what you're like. You operate, you probably studied this, but you operate from almost evenly between the right and left hemisphere of your brain. You got an interesting mix in your person. I don't know if you know that, but I could feel that you're almost an even balance between the two. As I say that I'm trying to figure mo. Rionathan the other, and I don't think your your intuition will do that, because your intuition is a mental faculty that may be eater ribble problem, and you can't do anything about it right now. But as you start to know that you are safe and you're in an universe that loves you, how many a day do people say their loves merely loves me, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so appreciative of life. And if you're a person that does that a lot, your life has to get better. If that's the life, will find little miraculous ways to bring good into your life. It's an honor to be here. It's funny, my producer Neeland, I were just comparing notes before we walked on these, we'll list who are upcoming. Guestarian, and I don't know that I have received as much communique as I have about any upcoming guest. As I have received about the fact that Louise Hay is coming on, I think part of it has to doubt the fact that you don't do a lot of this, people don't get a chance to really see you. In interviews, setting retired, I'm 81 and having fun, lots of fun. 1, you don't look 81, and 2, I know better than that. You are really not retired. You still work awfully hard, decided this is going to be the best decade of my entire life. Severe. Yeah. What makes you say that this is going to be the best decade? Because it is, I just feel that life has wonderful things in store for 'em. How is it that you live a life? And this question may sound a little strange, but a lot of folk don't have this experience where they live a life where they can declare that the decade in front of them will be better than their biggest hits. We can all do that. We just have to make a choice. We have to decide what it's going. Yeah, why? So few conversations like this for you. You mentioned early, you're retired, but you don't again. You don't do a lot of this. Why make yourself not more accessible? I just do what life brings to meet the moment. Yeah. I know life has a lot of things in store for 'em in the future and will bring to me, like my movie and